Hello everyone, we start around the European press. In England, where like all championships, the Premier League is stopped at least until April 4. Except that the coronavirus pandemic is still as uncertain, then the clubs of the Kingdom of His Majesty begin to think of a solution to end the season. According to the Daily Star, the Premier League plans to close the championship behind closed doors. Indeed, TV broadcasters are pressing to resume matches as quickly as possible, because the financial shortfall is enormous for them. And the solution that seems to be the most suitable and to play behind closed doors. Note that in France, Le Progrès reports that Jean-Michel Aulas, the president of Olympique Lyonnais, is campaigning to have Ligue 1 necessarily terminated before the end of June. If we want to save Ligue 1, it is absolutely necessary to finish it before June 30. You have to make choices, be courageous. Drop the C1, the cup finals and the international matches. To devote yourself solely to the championship. While OL is in the final of the Coupe de la Ligue against PSG and in a favourable tie for the 8th finals of the Champions League, after its 1-0 victory against Juventus. The Rhône boss is ready to put that aside to give priority to the championship. To be seen if he will be heard by the other presidents and especially the LFP. We are going to Spain. It is sad news that was one of the newspapers. Indeed, last night we learned of the death of Lorenzo Sanz, the former president of Real Madrid from 1995 to 2000. For the Madrid Daily it was the man of the seventh, the first Champions League for 32 years at El Time. At the head of the Merengues, he won 2 Champions Leagues in 1998 and in 2000. He was the man who came back to the forefront of Real in the early 2000s. The same goes for Marca, which pays homage to the former president, deceased of the coronavirus at the age of 76 years. The publication says goodbye to the president who had assembled a team of stars with players such as Davor Suker, Roberto Carlos, Clarence Seedorf, Fernando Hierro or Raúl. With a certain Jupp Heynckes on the bench. Today, Madridism mourns the loss of a president who has devoted a large part of his life to his great passion. Real Madrid, said the club in a statement that will pay him homage as soon as possible. Still on the peninsula but this time around Barcelona. And it's a Frenchman who's on the front page of Mundo Deportivo. According to the Catalan newspaper, Aymeric Laporte is in the sights of FC Barcelona. Barca has reactivated its interest in the central defender of Manchester City, which corresponds to the profile sought. While Samuel Umtiti has been announced on the start for several weeks, his compatriot would be the ideal replacement. And Barca has an advantage in its sleeve. While City is deprived of European cups, the Blaugranas want to take advantage of this to convince him to join Catalonia this summer. We stay in Catalonia where it is another tricolour that makes the headlines of this sport. According to the Daily Pro Barca, Antoine Griezmann is on the market, arrived last summer from the Atlético de Madrid. The attacker does not fight the management of Barcelona, who are already thinking of parting with it. The Blaugrana tanks are a way out to the 2018 world champion. Lack of cash to bring Neymar or Lautaro Martinez, the leaders could sacrifice Griezmann. It must still be possible. If this is not the case, several options will emerge for the future of the former Madrid. He could stay another year in Catalonia, a loan is always possible to save his salary, or it will be a dry sale. The current leader of the league demands recent €1 million to part with it. Matter to follow. So we finish in Italy, where we learned yesterday that Paulo Dybala had tested positive for coronaviruses. It is the third player of Juventus who is contaminated by the virus after Daniele Romania and Blaise Matuidi. An information which makes the front page of the Gazzetta dello Sport, which sends a message of support to the Argentinian and his companion. In the lower wing the same thing in a Tutto Sport, which returns to the infection of the couple, says Balla and his message where he reassures, "We are well." As a reminder, Italy is the country most affected by the virus, but the Giulia is not the only one to have tested positive. These last hours it is Milan also announced that Paolo Maldini, the former defender, today leader of the Rossoneri, and his son Daniel are affected, but they are fine. That's all for today. We meet tomorrow for a new press review. During this time, take care of yourself during this period of confinement and stay at home.